Hi everyone, Leah here from EurekaCrystalBeads.com with another fun beading video for you. Before I get started, just a quick reminder to go check out the rest of our channel, and if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and notification bell and you'll always know when we're posting new content. Today's project is a fun and festive earring that I'm calling the My Familiar earring. And if you're at all into any spooky lore, you may know that your familiar is an animal that perhaps you have a very strong connection with. So this is the My Familiar earring, and it features beads and components from our Pumpkin Festival collection, which is the newest Eureka Crystal Beads collection that's up on our website. The only item not included in the collection are the ear wires, but I'll talk more about those in just a second. So let me show you what we're going to be using. These are the components to make the other half of the earring, by the way. So for the entire earring, you'll use double what you see here. We have this really great Czech pressed black cat bead with gold detail, which is super fun, even down to the little whiskers. We have this really nice antique copper bead cap, which is going to end up being a collar for the cat. And we have a few lovely beads here. I have some 4mm bicones by Swarovski in Sun and Hyacinth. And I have a couple of 2mm fire polish beads that are going to accent this earring as well. For our findings, I have an antique copper eye pin, and I have 3 antique copper ball end head pins. Now about that copper ear wire. So that is the only component that's not included in the collection, but you can certainly go ahead and purchase those on EurekaCrystalBeads.com if you do want to tie in that antique copper look completely throughout the earring. All right, as far as tools go, we're going to be using our standard 3-wire working tools. So we have our chain nose pliers. And again, as I always tell people, the difference between chain nose and flat nose are the chain nose are tapered to a point and flat inside. We have our round nose pliers, which are like 2 little ice cream cones. There's no flat edges at all. And we have our wire cutters for cutting any of our little hard wire components there. All right, let's get started. Okay, to get this earring started, we're going to first make our 3 little dangles that are going to go underneath our adorable little cat bead there. So what I'm going to do is take 3 of those ball end head pins, and I'm going to stick 1 bead onto each one. So each of those 4mm bicones, and then 1 of the little 2mm fire polish. And we'll leave this other 2mm guy here off to the side because he'll eventually go on top of the cat bead. Now we're going to go to our chain nose pliers, and we're going to make a little bend right above that crystal. And we want this 90-degree bend to come out right out from the top of the crystal. So you want to grab right at the very top. But if you turn your pliers now, you do risk cracking the bead. So if you want to just scooch your pliers up a hair, when you go to make that turn, you're going to leave yourself enough of that little wiggle room and you won't crack your bead. So you want to do that on all 3 of them. And it's best when you're doing things with multiple head pins, try to do the same step on each one of them and then move to the next step on each one of them. That's how you're going to not only work the most efficiently, but you're going to get the most consistent results throughout all of them. So we're now going to go to our cutter, and we're going to cut off some of that wire. And if you're not quite sure how much to cut off, well, first of all, I would say concentrate on what you're leaving behind and less about what you're taking off, because this is what you're going to have left to work with. But also, if you're not sure, leave more, and then you can trim off if necessary. I'm going to cut off about a little bit more than half of the wire that's left. And again, do this on all of them at the same time, and that's going to allow you for more consistent results. Just like that. And now we're going to use our round nose pliers. And again, they're like 2 little ice cream cones. So whatever that's wrapped around them will be a nice little perfect circle. So we're going to grab at the tip of that wire. You don't really want to be able to feel that wire poking through at all. Just like that. We can't really feel it poke through. You're going to start to wrap your pliers around and form a nice little loop. Just like that. And if it looks like mine where it's a little off to the side, no problem. That's what happens when you're holding something so the camera can see. You can just straighten it right up with your chain nose pliers. So you're going to do that on all of your other dangles. And if you find that you have a hard time keeping your loops the same size, you can always make a little mark with a little fine point Sharpie on your pliers, and that's going to also help you make circles or bends at the same places on your pliers. Just like that. And this one I'm just going to straighten it out just a little bit. Okay, now that we have those little 3 dangles done, we're going to go to our eye pin here, and we're going to use our chain nose pliers. We're going to go to the opening of that eye pin, and we're going to just swivel it open. You always want to swivel open to the side and never straight out, because you're going to weaken up that circle if you do that. Now we're going to stick on our little dangles here. Just like this. And then we're going to go ahead and re-grab at that same spot and just nudge our little loop shut. And really take a look at it. Make sure that that loop is nice and closed, because if that loop is even a little bit open, you could lose your dangles, so you don't want that to happen. Next, we're going to take our adorable little flowery bead cap here, and we're going to gum up through the bottom of it. So if this is like a flower, it's kind of like you're going into the center of the flower and out the bottom. Now, typically you would have a bead cap hugging the bead. So we would have put it on this way to hug the bottom of the cap, but we're going to have this serve as a cool little collar for our cat. So we're going to have it sort of sloped downward. Then we stick our little cat bead on top. And then lastly, we're going to top it with that other 2mm fire polish just to finish it off. So now we're going to just repeat that same 90-degree bend. And again, bring your pliers right down so it's touching that top bead to ensure everything's down tight, but then move it up just a hair so that way you can make that bend without the fear of cracking that bead. Just like this. Nice and easy. I'm going to cut off about 1/3 of what's here. And I'm left with that little bit that I can now roll into a loop. There we go. We got our little loop there. So now we just have to go to our ear wire, which is actually already a little bit open for us, so we don't really have to swivel it open anymore. I'm going to stick our little cat on there, and now we are going to just press this shut a little bit more. And that's it. Now we have this adorable pair of earrings featuring those beautiful familiars, those black cats. Hopefully we have some other black cat fans out there like me. I have a black cat myself, so of course I'm loving these earrings a little extra. Again, all of the components, with the exception of the ear wires, are available in our newest collection, Pumpkin Festival. So if you get that, you can make all of this, plus so much more. I can't even tell you how excited I am about this collection because of all the earring possibilities in it, which I think is a lot of fun. We have some great focal beads and crystals in this particular collection, but I am loving on these cat beads because black cats are absolutely my familiars. So I hope you guys like the video. Hope you have fun making this project. If you have any questions, head on over to EurekaCrystalBeads.com. We got everything you need there. Leave a comment below if you love what you see, and hopefully we will see you again soon. Bye.